I wrote it, and I'm in it, and it's about me.
Corbin and I wrote this book together a couple years ago when we found out that he had dyslexia, and it tells his story of dyslexia, and we're hoping that it will encourage some of you guys out there who might have just found out that you had dyslexia too. So here is the book, The Boy Who Couldn't Read, by Cheri Gamble and Corbin Gamble.
This is a story about a boy named Corbin. Corbin was a happy little boy. He liked to eat. He liked to play with all his toys. He liked to talk. He was very happy.
When Corbin was 5 years old, he started school. He colored pictures. He played games. He counted to 100. And he studied the alphabet.
But no matter how hard Corbin studied the alphabet, he could not seem to get the letters to make sense as words. He looked at the letters over and over again, but no matter what he did, he could not read a word.
One day he was trying to read a story about a man with a tin can on his head. The story was supposed to be easy, but Corbin could not figure out the words. He tried and tried, but he could not read the words on the page, and Corbin was sad.
But Corbin was a smart little boy. He soon learned to memorize the words of a story. Then he could say the words back again. And everyone would think he was reading. He also learned to guess what the words were by looking at the pictures on the page or the first letter of each word, and this worked most of the time.
But sometimes Corbin got the words all wrong. Sometimes he would say pond when the word was supposed to be lake, or small when the word was supposed to be little. This made his mom start to think more about Corbin's problems with reading.
After thinking about it for a while, his mom decided to take Corbin to get a special test to find out why he was having such a hard time reading. Corbin did not want to take this special test. Corbin was mad.
But even though he was mad, one day Corbin went with his mom and dad to a big white building. He met a nice man who asked him a bunch of questions. Some of the questions were easy. Some of the questions were really, really hard. Corbin answered all the questions the best he could.
And after a long time and many different tests, Corbin was told he had dyslexia.
Corbin did not want to have dyslexia. Corbin wanted reading to be easy. Corbin was very, very sad.
But then his mom and dad started to tell him more about dyslexia. Corbin that he was born with dyslexia, just like he was born with brown eyes. Corbin learned that there were many famous people who also had dyslexia: sports stars, movie stars, successful businessmen, and women.
Even super smart people like Thomas Edison and Leonardo da Vinci may have had dyslexia. Corbin was in good company.
Then Corbin found out that his dyslexia made him better at things like sports, art, and creativity. Corbin discovered that he was good at soccer and baseball, and he played first base on his baseball team.
Corbin discovered that he was really good at drawing, so he drew and drew and drew. He drew pictures of football players, baseball players, and superheroes. He even drew pictures for a book that was published.
Corbin learned to read with his ears. He learned to listen to audiobooks, and one summer he read over 24 hours worth of books for the summer reading program at his library.
And most importantly, Corbin learned that he was still special. He learned that God loved him and that God had a really cool plan for his life, a plan that Corbin would be able to do better than anyone else because of his dyslexia.
There were still days that were hard for Corbin. Corbin still struggled to read, and he wrote his letters after looking different than what he wanted.
And there were some days when Corbin had to stop and take a break. There were days when he wanted to cry instead of read, or get angry at how hard his work was instead of doing his work.
But Corbin kept working hard, knowing that God was going to use him and